Hi ladies, I am coming to you with a tutorial. Yes, we are going to be making a watch together. So let me go ahead and dive in with the stuff that I'll be using and where I got things, okay? So I'm gonna raise this camera up a smidge because I wanna show you, oh gosh, this amazing tool set that I bought from Amazon, and I will link it below. Let me tell you guys, game changer for those of you that are jewelry makers. Okay, let's see if I can do this without it falling off. Do you see this? This wood piece right here is a holder for all your tools. And I bought the tools with it. So this is all together. These are all the tools that come inside. All tools that I use for different things. And the reviews on this were really good because this is by men that make jewelry, a different type of jewelry, of course, and it had great reviews. So I think it was $35 or $38 for everything. All 8 of these tools plus the wood piece that they get housed in, which is perfect. I was taking a class at Frank's with Andrea, I believe is her name. She does a lot of beautiful vintage pieces, and she had this tool set, not this exact one, because they don't come in pretty colors, guys. So you'll see that they come like this in the red and black, because this was mainly men that used the tools. And for me, I needed something durable. So I'm not going to care if it's pink or a pretty color. I want it to work and last. So I got these, and these right here, if you get them, do not be surprised if you see oil on all of them. It keeps them lubed so that they can open and close easily. All I did was grab a wipey and I just cleaned all of it off. So you'll notice there is oil on it. That's because they put that on there so that it easily opens and closes. So do not be surprised if you see that. But I've already used it and it's amazing and I love it. So like I said, I will keep the link below. We are going to make this watch, different color palette, but is that not pretty? Okay, let me put this down a little bit more so I can see in the camera as I'm showing you. It's a little tough. All right. How stinking pretty, right? Love it. So I did that one, and what it was is I used this right here. Frank has this in his studio. That's where I purchased it. I will have it linked below if you would like to purchase this watch. It comes with this charm. We will be using both because I do have the charm hanging right here at the end. Okay. And the crimp beads that we will be using that look like these right here, these tube crimp beads, are from Hildy and Joe from Joann's. They come in 2 different sizes, and I'm using the crimp tubes that are the smaller ones, not the super long ones. Those ones, the long ones I would probably use on a necklace. Bracelets, in the watch, I would use the smaller ones, okay? So I just wanted to show you that that's where I got my crimp beads from. I prefer using tubes as opposed to the circle ones. So it is totally your preference. If you're okay using the circle crimp beads, I just feel like the tube ones, when you use them, they hold better. The wire I am using is this right here. It's a stainless steel, and it's steel gray, and it's the fine size, and it's at Hobby Lobby. So just make sure they have a few different sizes, super fine, fine, and medium, I think. And I'm using fine, okay? Now, the beads I'm gonna be using are this right here from Hildy and Joe. I just got these yesterday from Joann's. It's a very baby blue crackle bead. Super beautiful. And I will be using Swarovski crystals that I just showed in my previous video that I purchased on Etsy. And I will be using some of these beads right here that I had in my stash. Okay. And I believe that's it, aside from my tools and my ruler. And I'm guessing as I'm gonna do this, guys, I don't have it laid out exactly what color palette or anything like that, so we're just gonna, again, I'm gonna wing it. Okay, so now I kept the little plastic thing in there because I do not want to take that out because then the battery starts moving. So just keep in mind when you do these, you're double threading. So you need to make sure your bead, the holes in your beads are kind of a bigger size. So let's say you wanted to use like freshwater pearls like this right here. The holes when they drill in these are always small. So you are lucky if you can fit this through 1 time or 2 times, and that's it. So like this one, yeah, it'll fit only 1 time, 1 wire pass through once on this. You would not be able to use this for this type of watch. So I just want to let you know, or these type of beads right here, they're always drilled very small. And that's because they're like chips of stones, so they can't make the holes very big when they're all different sizes. So just keep that in mind when you decide to try to give this a whirl, that you do want to pick regular, like these beads right here, they're big enough to put them through. Okay, so let's go ahead, push this up here. I'm keeping my ruler out because this right here, I have a 6-inch wrist. For a watch, you want it to be more exact to your wrist size. When I make bracelets, I always do them in 7 inches because I like them to hang off my wrist. You know, I like them to go farther off my wrist. Right here, all the way around is 6 inches. This right here is 6 inches. You always want to consider the fact of your toggles as well, because although these are 6 inches, like watch, let me show you. I'll put this one on right here on this hand because I wear my Apple Watch on the other one. And I use toggles on these. I want to find some really pretty magnetic ones because I would really love to use a magnetic closure. But toggles are pretty good. Okay, especially for one-handed, you know, to put this on with one hand. So you see right here is how it is for 6 inches. You have to factor this space in between here. Okay, so it doesn't dangle off or anything like that. So this watch, what I did is, I'm going to show you when I make this next one. But anyways, you'll see that it fits me perfectly. So it doesn't dangle too far off. And it's really pretty, okay? And I used a toggle that has, I like to get toggles that have this end piece be long. I don't like to get the short ones because they fall out of the other side very easily, and not just that, they're harder to get in. So I like to get where this toggle piece is longer. Okay, so I always gravitate to like the heart ones. These I believe they had these at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut into this and get into it. All right, I already took these 2 pieces out, so I can toss this now. And then we're going to cut these out. I've been missing doing jewelry. Get that itch every so often. All right, so we have those. We're gonna keep this basic. I'm not gonna add a lot of colors or do a lot of things because you only got so much space. You can't really go too crazy on as far as too many beads. You know, I mean, this is like 3 inches of space. Okay. Now, when I did this side, what I did is I put 6 inches of wire because I got to wrap it through twice so that it would be 3 inches long in here, okay? So this wire right here, and you're going to need 1 inch more of space because I'm going to show you why you want extra. So although this right here, I used 1/6 inch, I'm going to go 7 inches, okay? So I'm going to get my wire where the ruler is, and I'm going to measure 7 inches, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And then while I'm at it, let me grab my second one for the other side because you'll need 2 pieces to do the watch. It's not one continuous piece. Okay. All right. So we have our 2 7-inch pieces for a 6-inch wrist, or you know, a little bit more than a 6-inch. Okay, all right, so now I can move the ruler. All right, so when you get your wire, Okay, we're gonna make it to where it is right together. And I like to pinch it a little bit to where it has like just that little groove right there, so that when we put it through the watch, you'll see right here. I don't have my glasses in, so I'm gonna hope that I wing this right. So see, it looks like this. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab 2 of these 6mm Swarovski crystals, like that. You have a choice to just do a bunch of beads here, a bunch of beads here, and then close it like this. I did it to where I only added 2 here, 2 here, and then I started bringing them all together in here. So you could bring 2 here, close it up, and then open it up, do it and like that, and then to where I add another cluster like this. I could have done it right here and then added more, but I only had super little bit of space to do that. So this is a perfect, you know, idea if you have more, you know, if your wrist is bigger, then you can play a little bit more. For somebody like me, you know, my wrist is ridiculously tiny. So it leaves the options very limited. So we are going to, let's see, we're going to see if these bead caps, how this will look. Like I said, totally winging it. And I was thinking I could totally wing this just for the fact that it's not that many beads. So let's hope that as I wing this, okay. And just to know too, do not be, you see how that sits like that, where one is higher than the other? It's not gonna always sit the exact same way. Sometimes it won't, especially with these type of beads, because they're the way they're cut. Now maybe if these were round, it would probably sit a little more even. But I'm not worried about that. I'm okay with it looking like that, okay? And I'm using these bead caps that I picked up from Michael's. You can get bead caps anywhere, you know, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, wherever. All right, so then we're gonna grab, we're just gonna keep these 2 colors. So, and you see how I have to have 2 right here to be able to fit in the hole. So that's why you have to be consideration of the actual size of the bead. Okay, let me just grab a handful of these. I don't know. All right. And then we're just gonna make a very simple, nothing too crazy. These are crackle glass beads. And you know what? This is costume jewelry, guys. So when you're using these metals, they're going to tarnish in time, you know? I mean, there's no way to do that unless you wanna buy some real, you know, even sterling silver will tarnish after a while. Especially for beading. It's not the same type of quality as if you were to buy a sterling silver bracelet or earrings. The quality is different with beads. I definitely have purchased them many times, and they do still tarnish. And everybody's oil on their skin is different. We wash our hands 50 times a day, and now sanitizing, it's just gonna be hard on jewelry. So for me, I don't stress it too much because I already know that I am going to, I'll cut it off and redo it. That part doesn't matter to me, because why would you throw away all these beautiful beads just because they tarnish? Just cut it off and restring it, because these beads, they don't tarnish. It's just the metal findings. Okay, so you see how that looks? So that's all I can do on this side. And then this is as much space as I got left over. Okay, so what you do is you get one of these super tiny little tubes, and then we're gonna put both of them through like that. Okay, then we're gonna take, I like to use these needle nose that have the ridges because it holds onto the wire really, really good. Okay, and then we are going to get, oh, I didn't grab my toggle pieces in advance. So we're gonna have the heart, and we're gonna have the end piece, okay? So let's do the heart first. And we're gonna string those through as well, okay? Then we're gonna bend these. So what I like to do is just bend it with my finger just so I can get that little bent impression on there. And then we're going to get our needle nose, preferably with the ridges. And we're going to take both of these at the same time and put them through the tube. And sometimes if you can't get both in there, it's okay. You can get one at a time. I've had to do that on the other one because I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, just get them, push them through to where they're going to come out. You see the other end right here, and that's okay. That's what we want. And then you just get it in there a little bit, and then we're going to take these on the other end and we're going to pull. Okay, oops. And we're just going to pull a little bit, push the crimp bead up a little, and to where they're sticking outside like that. But make sure you don't pull too tight. You see how this bends very easily? You don't want it to be so tight to where this stays straight, okay? You want to check it before you close that crimp. You want to make sure you definitely have, you know, a little give, okay? And you don't want to put the crimp bead right here. You don't want it super butted right up to your closure, to your toggle, or else this can't move. So have a little bit of wiggle room in there as well. Okay. Wiggle room. And that's where you have to have the ridges to close this crimp bead, because that's what's going to make it hold on to the wire. If you use a flat one, it doesn't put the little crimp, you know, the little ridges in there. So you want to definitely use pliers that have those ridges. So you see those are there. Now sometimes, let's say if you use a bead and you're able to get 2 through, but you're not able to get an additional 2 to go back through there, because that would be, it would look like this bead has 4 wire strands in there if I put these back through. Then you just cut them off. You know, you just get your some cutters, and you can cut it right and butt it right up to the actual crimp bead if you don't have a choice. If you are able to get them back through that bead, then that's what would be ideal, okay? So what I do is I like to do this one at a time and try to funnel it back through the first bead at least. To me, it just looks a little more clean if you're able to, and that's what that extra inch is for, so that you can do, so that you can try to funnel it back through the bead. Okay, this is where I really should have put my glasses on, because to see these things is like, oh my gosh. Okay, and then also too, you know what I didn't bring? You know what, hold on, maybe I can. I'm gonna also show you those as well, so I'll put them out so I don't forget. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's just keep them out, because this way I'm gonna show you, okay. Okay, so let's say you're not able to funnel them back through, okay? Let's go ahead and cut these off. And we're gonna cut it right to the crimp. Okay, so you'll see that there'll be these pokey things, right? And that would suck when it's rubbing on your actual finger. These are crimp bead covers. I use these when I do stretchy bracelets to cover the knots, but these are actually meant to cover crimp beads, which are those, okay? And then all you do is you just pretty much, okay, you just hide the crimp inside. Then you take these right here, and when you close these off, you're gonna do one side. Don't close it together all at once. You close one side a little bit, then you come over here and you close the other side a little bit so that it stays circular. Because if you squeeze them both at once, it makes it kind of squished. It'll just look squished. Okay. All right, so then I see a little wire still hanging out. And these are actually pretty cool. Normally I don't use these. I'll use a different set of flush cutters, but these cut very sharp to the tip. That is absolutely very cool. Okay, so it hides the crimp bead and it just looks like another bead. So that gives it a clean finish. If you cannot funnel the wire back through, like here, I was able to funnel it back through. Okay, and I got it through this bead right here, and then I cut the wires off. Okay, so I can still go back here, grab a crimp bead, and I can still cover those, which I probably will. I totally forgot those were right there. So see, so now you have this one right here done on one side. So let's go ahead. And it probably would be faster, honestly, if you just went ahead and had the covers instead of trying to travel it back through. The reason why I travel it through is because I like it to look clean and finished. When you cut it, the crimp bead, and you cut it, and you don't funnel it through the bead, the crimp bead will look all sideways. It doesn't look right. I don't like it personally for myself. So if you have crimp covers, and you get those crimp covers, you can get them at Michael's, and you can get them at Hobby Lobby. And I always grab different sizes because you never know what size you're going to need on what project you're going to need it for. I get these really big ones from Hobby Lobby. These are my favorite ones. Oh, it's stuck to this one right here. And I also get gold color too. This one right here. These are silver ones, and these are big size ones. These are what I use on my stretchy bracelets to cover the knot, because these are a good size to cover the knots. So, but I will also grab, like, these are from Michael's, you know, these ones are smaller. So these are different, and I think it came 3 different sizes in one. So that's, you know, you just never know. And I grab them as I see them. If they're on sale, I'll just go ahead and grab it and go from there. So let's see, we're going to do the same. And it's great to add, you know, metal pieces in between. Now, if you don't want to do metal because, like I had mentioned previously, you're like, oh, you know, it's going to fade and then I'm going to have to cut it apart or whatever it is. Well, keep in mind too, the watch face on here, it's not real silver either. So that might fade as well. And I'm very big on making sure that I keep my beads. If something fades and tarnishes, I will save what I can and then throw the other pieces away. I don't throw the whole things away if certain things can be kept. That's crazy. And so just keep that in mind, that does it as well. But if you want to, you know, I believe this watch is stainless steel, so it'll last a lot longer. So if in case you, these right here, these bead caps, and this is fine, then yeah, you just cut it off and start over. Or you don't add any metal findings and make just pure beads. I just like the look of the actual metal in between the actual beads. I just feel like it just gives it a, you know, a really nice sassy look. Okay, and like I said, these bead caps came from Michael's. And I believe these beads right here are 8 millimeters. I believe. Sometimes they don't tell you the size, which is, you'll see is right here. They don't tell you what size that bead is. And that's how it comes, so. All right, and then we will grab one more Swarovski crystal, and then we'll close it off. So let's get another crimp bead. We're going to put both wires through the crimp bead, and now we're going to put this other piece to the toggle through as well, both of them. And then what I do is I let them go down, and I just bend this with my finger, because you don't want the wires going everywhere. And when you put that little bend in there, it just makes it easier for me personally, okay? So now we're gonna get our needle nose. I like to always try to get both at the same time. And if I can't, then I'll go back and do one at a time. All right. And the wires for jewelry, it has like a coating on it, like a wax type coating, so it's not like just solid metal. And it's a very light wax, okay, not like a super waxy. I might have to do one at a time because I don't know why it's not going through. All right, come on. I'm almost done. All right, so. And it really doesn't help not having glasses. You know, this aging process really sucks. I swear, I just went back to the eye doctor and I'm like, are you kidding me? All right. And we're gonna pull it through. Did I pull one through? Oh, only one went through. So that means we're gonna have to go back. And then we're gonna have to grab this other one. And we're gonna have to pull that one through. So this does require a smidge of patience, and that's okay. Because it's actually not, it's not hard. It's just stringing, and this is different material. It's not your stretchy bracelet or memory wire. It's something different. And this is when I first started doing jewelry. This is what I used back in the day. All right. So now they're both through. We want to make sure there's a little give. Okay. And then make sure this can move. All right. And then let's close this one up real quick. There we go. Now they're both the same. And we'll squeeze it. Just squeeze it really snug. Let's say you squeeze this and something goes wrong, right? Because it's flat. Let's say you do it, and sometimes these crimp beads will break in half. Sometimes that happens. If in case that does, all you do is when it's flat right here, you take it to where it's not flat, and then you go and you squeeze the opposite direction, and they'll pop right off. Okay? So if it's flat here, turn it to where it's not flat, and now you see it's like this, then you squeeze really hard, and it will break this crimp bead open, if you need to do that. All right, so we're gonna get our cutters. We're gonna cut it flush to the crimp. All right, then we're gonna get a crimp bead cover right here. And we're gonna put it, looks like a little Pac-Man. We're gonna gobble up that crimp bead, and then we're gonna close it off. One side at a time. And then the other side. And then close the other side. I do it a little at a time, not all at once. There's no rush, because it's hard to fix the shape. When you squeeze it all at once, and it looks like, it'll just look like a smashed bead. It's not very cute. And if you see any wires are hanging out of that, then you just get your cutters and you cut those flush to the bead. It's okay. Oops. All right, I don't think. Is it even there? Am I seeing things? Okay, so we have that. And okay, now this right here, it comes with this charm. It comes with the jump ring on it. And we're gonna open this guy up. We're gonna take our bent needle nose, open that. I always put it on the open part, not this one, because this will get in the way if you're trying to get that inside the heart. And the heart already, oops. Okay, and we're gonna put it through the hole of where the wire is, not the actual heart. And if I can keep it together, and let's try this again. There we go. Get our needle nose. Close it off. Make sure the metal butts the metal. Okay, so that it doesn't fall off. And then there's your watch. This one I think is a little bigger because when I cut the 7 inches, I didn't make sure to remember. Hold on. Which is perfect. I'm not going to keep both of these anyways. And not everybody has a bony wrist like me. Yeah, so you'll see right here, it is bigger. But just a smidge, not very much. So let's see how it would look on. And that's why I like the longer things, because when you have to do this with one hand to get it in the toggle, you want to make sure there's enough for you to hold on to. And I like to finish with a small bead. Oh gosh. I just got this turned the wrong way. Let's try it this way. Hold on. I can't apparently talk and show you at the same time. All right, there we go. So see how when it's longer, it's got more space. So if you're moving it around and let's say you want it looser to hang like a bracelet, it's not going to fall off because this is so long. Some of these toggles come short and they do slip right through. And they're cute ones because I used to get them and it used to irritate me. So see this right here? It's got space right here. And if you like your watches to have a little bit of dangle, then you just add more to the watch. See this one right here? It actually is more of an exact fit to my wrist because I did only 6 inches on this one. This one I did 7 inches and it's a smidge more. So like if you had a 6.5 inch wrist, this would have been perfect size. Okay, and also too, depending on how you like it to sit. So I just wanted to come on here really quick because I wanted to make these watches when I got these from Frank. And today was the day. So here they are. Here's the watches. I hope you guys give it a try. I will have Frank's link below of where to buy the actual watches. And I will have the link also to Amazon for the tools because these are game changers. Love these things. Okay. And that is it. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys give it a try. I figured let's try something new. You know, it's really easy for jump back into something very simple to do, like stretchy bracelets, which I love, or memory wire bracelets, which I love. I will definitely hop back on here doing stuff like that also, but this was something different. So that's it. Have an amazing and super beyond blessed Sunday and upcoming work week, guys.